Hey, it's your girl Amber Rose, and you're listening to Tales from the Swing with Jean and Scott.
Hi, welcome to Tales from the Swing. My name is Jean Holden.
And I'm Scott Holden.
Tales from the Swing.
Yeah!
Tales from the Swing.
The hosts of this program are not medical professionals or lawyers and cannot give medical or legal advice. The content of this program is intended for entertainment purposes only. Enjoy!
Tales from the Swing. 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 Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Swing, the podcast where we chat about alternate lifestyles, relationships, polyamory, swinging, and bisexuality, all that stuff, kind of in a fun-loving comedy sort of way. My name is Jean Holden, and with me today is...
The guy in the sound effects over here, Scott Holden. Sorry, I couldn't help myself with that crazy opening.
So I was just giving everybody an overview of what the show's like.
Yes?
So this week
This
were...
could be someone's first show.
In Astoria, yes.
Just like comics, as Stan Lee said. This could be your first comic. This could be your first Tales from the Swing.
Absolutely right. So I just wanted to give everybody an overview. We were in Astoria this past week, and we had an awesome interview with Chemda and Hennessy.
Yeah, this goes really heavy, gets really real.
Very.
Hennessy is transgendered.
Right.
Female to male. And so that adds a whole new dimension to the discussion about, relationships.
Right.
And while, so this isn't like, poly-based or swing-based, it is, since, as we talk about in the episode, it all kind of, we're all put together on this same island known as LGBTQ.
Right.
So, and while it doesn't always seem to necessarily make sense as to why these people are on this strange island, we kind of get into that. Right.
And you get to totally experience, this relationship between two people that may totally be out of an idea that this could even be a thing. So...
Yeah, and we talk. Our Hennessy talks a lot about the cisgender and sort of working that out. And I really did not say it in a goof fashion. I say how much it reminds me of the alignment system in D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, because it adds this dimension that you never really thought about. It adds that neutral or true neutral, to some degree,
right.
And we talk a little bit about, as we've talked about on this show before, the what do you call them? The asexuals.
The asexual.
But we don't go too much into that. But again, it's like, why do we get them?
Right. Yeah, and that
because
can go into
you can be asexual and heterosexual. So
right. I think it.
But anyway,
asexual is hard to wrap your head around. it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. So
yeah, I just see it as frigid. That's my impression.
That's why I don't like. I don't know.
I just don't know what to say. Group.
I don't know what to say about asexual because I really don't get it. I just want to talk to someone who's asexual and really understand it more.
Maybe at some point we will.
I really would because if there's
somebody
just
not into sex, but okay, fine.
Right.
But you know what that makes you? Frigid.
Well, if there's someone out there that would
makes
like
to talk
fun,
about
Nick.
I get it. I get it. You're no fun. I get it. You're no fun, and you want a special atonement for that, or special attention for being no fun nicks.
I don't know. I don't know. I need to find out. I want to talk to someone.
Well,
so anyway.
We don't need to worry about that because we have far more interesting things to talk about.
And our guests are open, amazing, and just funny.
With Chemda and Hennessy.
Yes.
See, I'm trying to say it right now because here's another thing that I was pointing out. I've always said Chemda with an H sound, with less of the ch sound, because I was always taught that was socially acceptable because, in general, we make it an H sound. Kind of like Jose when you see the J.
Yeah, but the J,
that's always been
that's
sort of,
yeah.
that's how it was taught to me. In the same way that the J becomes an H sound,
Yeah.
the CH of a lot of Middle Eastern dialects becomes an H sound.
Yeah, well, it's just not how you say it.
Exactly,
so we will practice and be better.
Yes.
Chemda and Hennessy. And it's a great
I
interview.
think that's too strong.
Hennessy
I feel
said
like,
it was
no,
perfect.
I feel like it's too much of an accent.
Chemda.
Just got to be... All right.
Anyway, Chemda and Hennessy.
So you're in for a real treat now, and a lot of fun, and good talk, and intelligent discussion.
Right.
The only place this could exist is in podcasting, I think.
So true. And just like an open dialogue that it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is a long show, or a long interview, so
It is long.
We'll
Yeah.
tighten it up here, and we'll catch you at the end.
Cool.
So enjoy
it.
Chemda, and Hennessy.
Chemda.
God, see, even when I tried the first time, I went so soft,
I know.
I didn't do it.
I know.
So there you go.
But you'll work up
Sorry,
to it.
Chemda. I'll get it. I promise.
We're
I'll work on
working
it.
towards perfection.
Yes. Remember, we're all learning here.
Yes.
We love you guys. And
We do.
here
Thank
they
you
are.
so much.
We're very thrilled to have our next guests on because 50% of them are technically the godmother of this show. Because
Yes, indeed.
if it wasn't for Chemda here, this show would not exist. That's the truth. Because when we had you
I
guys,
don't know, perverts. You were.
well, but we never really talked about any of that shit on our other show, on our main show, other than like when the Supreme Court came through, and then we started saying that we came out of the closet about our sexuality, that we're both bisexual.
Right.
But nobody ever asked the question.
Gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Pick a side.
If we were in an open relationship until
well,
we
it's
had,
hot for her, but weird for you. Sorry, go on.
Okay. Until we had you and Keith on, and then we sort of opened up on our show, and then we got so comfortable with that, we kind of said we need a show just to do this and just to focus on, because there are a lot of funny aspects to the swing lifestyle, and we're not really swingers, but we use that word. It's all good. And
Well, because it's a word that people can
first, before I
kinda
go
get
too
what we're
much
talking
further,
about.
welcome to the show,
Yeah.
Chemda from
Hi.
Keith and the Girl,
Thank you so much for having me.
and her husband Hennessy.
Hey.
From Kill Me
Aloha.
Now with Judy Gold.
Yes,
That's true.
a great
Julie
show.
Gold. She's a
Great
bitch.
show.
that's so funny.
She's an awesome bitch, though.
So welcome to the show, guys. And how does it feel to know that you're sort of somehow part of this show even being in existence?
I want to be so sarcastic, but
can.
it really is just an honor because I know the stigma, and I know that sometimes, like when you're doing it, it's just like, yeah, this is totally normal. This isn't, we're not swingers. We're not whatever word. We're not,
Right.
we're not
There's always a
doing
lot of
that.
words.
Yeah. And as soon as somebody knows that, they already put a million different things on you. So to say it out loud and to just talk about it like it's normal obviously helps normalize things, and somebody has to start doing it.
Right.
And it's a small community, and there's a lot of fear in the community. There's a lot of like outing and shush and my kids and whatever. And I think you guys are really brave.
Well,
Thank you.
a lot of people do it away from the kids. Like they don't. But then there's a lot of people that there's a
that are open about it.
You would hope so.
no. There's a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
that
The
are
act
nudists.
itself.
Yes, I
There's
see
a
what
lot
you
of
mean.
people that are nudists. They like run around naked and they go to nude beaches with their kids.
And
stuff.
usually they're cool with the kids, but usually like the swing,
Cool with
the
the
swing scene doesn't usually interact with the children quite
No.
as much.
Cool.
Well,
with, that's
well,
a cool with the kids in the wrong way.
There's no sex scene except for the actual perverts who should be locked up.
Yeah.
That does
Right.
include children.
Yeah.
I mean, mothers and fathers hardly want to talk to their kids about actual biological sex, let alone their own sex life.
Right.
It's interesting that what people expect of, you know, swingers or people outside of like the 1-in-1 norm, whatever that is, like, oh, did you tell this? Did you tell that? Shut up. How much do you talk to your children about your cock and your
I believe that you could also be polyamorous or a swinging couple.
And that's sort of what we use.
And have your, you know, whatever you want to call it, and have your children know about it, and they could know your partners, and it could be totally fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it could be a really enriching part of your kid's life, you know, if that's what it is. But it's not, sometimes it's just a one night stand. Like any other, you know what I mean?
We were getting the question, what's the difference between swingers and polyamorous? And so we've defined it. We figured it out. And through observation, scientific method, observing the way people behave, swingers will fuck anything that moves at a party. They will.
I think that's
they say extreme. They won't, but they will fuck all comers.
Come on, you're pretty good
Seriously. They will fuck all comers. It doesn't matter. You could have a troll with 8 heads. They say they won't, but they will. Polyamorous are much more picky.
I think that's a little...
No, I'm not.
Anything that moves?
Okay, anyone who's at that party.
Okay.
Is that how you are?
No.
So they're
We're much more on the poly side.
No. That's so interesting. Wait, so from a poly side, would you fuck anything in the room when you're in?
Not at all.
That's so interesting because you just described everybody else in your community as doing it except for you.
Well, we just have to bob in and out.
As your wife is going, really, anybody? And you're like, yes, everybody. And then you're like, but not.
She knows this as well.
Not me. No.
Seriously, I would not. I would not fuck all comers.
Then that's
I'm very
it.
selective. We're very picky.
So then, so you guys are the only ones that are picky?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm sure there's
no. He's just saying the difference between people that call themselves swingers and identify that way, and people that identify as polyamorous tend to be the swingers, come in and they're like the players of the room, and they'll be fucking everyone, you know, and they're like, I don't give a fuck, you know, I'm just here to fuck.
Once they get going, it doesn't matter.
You know, I swing.
Okay,
so
that's what I do.
But the polyamorous people are like, we're looking for more with poly.
Well, it's true.
Number of people.
We're a little more into the relationship aspect.
Yeah, and like the energy and stuff.
At the very least, we have to like the people we fuck. I mean, at the very least.
And it has to enrich your relationship.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
It has to kind of work.
And swingers are just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Let's go home and have dinner.
Yeah. There's you can do it. There's a lot more detachment on that end. It's like there's still that sort of 70s hangover in the swinger community. I mean, even the fucking word swinger
is a cool
very
name.
70s.
I want to call myself a swinger.
Do you?
Even though I'm not. I just want to be hey, cats and dogs.
Yeah.
See, that's like...
I'm a swinger.
I'm a swinger.
And I want to twirl around a pocket watch, with like a big brimmed hat while I sit.
Shakedown Street? What are you...
Yeah, Shakedown
The cover of the Grateful Dead.
On Cool Cat Lane.
Cool cat.
Scooty doo bop bop bop.
Yeah. Skibbity doo. Swingers and cats.
So now your kids know.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I mean, I think they've always known. And it's not like we've come out and said to them, oh, we fuck other people.
I have never sat my son or daughter down and said that.
But you don't need to. You don't need to.
You don't need to sit them down and tell them that you fuck each other.
Know. I always summed it up like this. They just know that when mom and dad come home, they're in much better moods than when they left, So.
Yeah, my parents played cards. They came back in a different mood.
Yeah.
And so did they ask you about sex? Were you the ones who had the conversation with them about sex?
Did you talk with?
Yeah.
Did it go well? Were you embarrassed in any way?
It's kind of an awkward sort of. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
Yes.
So did you include a lot the varying degrees of things, or did you just go, this equipment makes this thing?
That hasn't come up.
It's very weird. Well, it's not weird.
What do you mean?
Our kids are very cool with bisexuality, homosexuality. It's never been a thing for them.
So okay, so it's not even
you didn't break down sex like pee-pee.
No, and when we came out, they weren't shocked, or they were like, cool, everything, that's all good.
Yeah.
They already
I
knew.
think they're talking about before that.
If you don't villainize
the
something.
penis goes into the vagina. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, at some point we did teach the kids that the penis goes into the vagina. I would think so.
I was taught, because I went to Catholic school, that you pray. Oh. You pray and then the baby comes.
Oh my God.
Isn't that fucked up?
Wow.
You pray.
My mom told me in great detail. Sorry, go ahead.
How long
You're
do
lucky.
they tell people that for? Like, when do they break the news that that's not the way?
Your wedding night.
Oh my God, can you imagine? I bet they do. That's scary. Can you imagine on my wedding night I go, no, come on, I'll just pray.
You pray.
Because that's scary. If you don't know
Are we got to get on our knees now and pray together? Well, you are.
You're gonna get on your knees, and you're going to pray into this staff of Ra.
That sounds very pagan.
It really does.
Sorry, I couldn't pull a good Star Trek reference for you guys.
I thought you were going to say like Excalibur or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah, something.
So you guys
Catholic.
you binged Next Generation, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we stopped halfway through the last season.
Okay.
Why?
Okay. That's a weird place to stop.
I think it's a mental block.
Okay.
You know what it was like?
It's like finishing a good book.
Did you get to Voyager?
No, not yet.
Because I really believe that Janeway is probably one of the best captains in
Janeway.
Star Trek history.
I'm sorry.
I know we're getting really nerd and way off base, but
I'm forgetting her name at the moment. What is the actress's name?
Kate Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew. Of course. She is butter on Hawaiian sweet bread toast.
She is an awesome captain,
She's
man.
one of my favorite actors of all time.
And she gets no fucking credit. None.
She does.
No, when they
She
do
does in
captain
theater.
fights, she's always like sort of inserted as like, and also appearing.
Well, those that know, we know.
See, I
Yeah,
never
it's
knew
true.
that.
We know
I was like,
She's actually more.
She has more of a,
she's
like, a
more
stage.
action oriented than any of those fucking other captains. Picard would sit back for hours and
She
be
does.
thinking.
She's done a lot of stage
oh my God,
work.
she
a lot
has
of
to have, yeah.
Of course.
That's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and
Kate
she plays
Mulgrew,
the
yeah.
she plays the chef on Orange Is the New Black.
Does she really?
Red. She plays Red.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah, she speaks with Russian accent.
So did you watch Voyager?
Russian accent.
Have you watched Voyager?
Yeah, I used to watch it after school, but I didn't follow it like I did
Okay.
Next Generation.
Did you ever go online like back in that day and like maybe Google about it? Because I recently
was
found
not
out.
looking that up online. I was looking up like backstage.com and pretending to answer casting calls. I was really nerdy.
I had created a fan page back then. Well, it was sort of an anti-fan page. It was called Neelix Must Die. And it was very early. We're talking very
great.
early in the series. Yeah. And recently,
You're
like,
such a feminist.
my son Googled it and he's like, look, you're infamous.
Wow.
Someone was talking about you. The guy who did Infamous.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, because the internet was people weren't like being specific like that
Yes.
as much.
Yes. Nowadays, I'd probably get carted off though, because it did have a picture literally of a bullet hole in the whole. What do you call it? The gun sight thing.
Oh,
But I explained it was the character that I wanted dead, not the actor. Because Neelix sucked.
See, I want to bring the show
All
back
right, we're way off
to,
base here. Back to sex?
Well, I want to bring it back to Chemda and Hennessy because I want to know more
that's
about
basically sex.
it. Let me hear about it. Like, I want to
Okay,
hear
so-
you, like, your kind of love story because you guys are so adorable.
Yeah, you guys have a very, non-traditional
It's very
relationship.
sweet
we would call
and
it.
it's very, like, you guys are very affectionate and you're very loving and it's adorable.
You shut up.
It's true. It's
I don't know if you guys swing or not. But
We don't.
yeah, that's
It's
fine.
just.
You still qualify.
I want to hear about
Thanks.
how this was.
Well, we
created.
were in a play together, a musical, which is not normal for me, but normal for him.
Yeah.
And
Gypsy rock musical.
it was super fun. But actually, I didn't expect it to be super fun. I had been in this musical for years, just
Iterations of it.
Yeah.
Like, as it's
Which one?
been developed. It's called Viva Pachiva. You might know it as the Gypsy play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so and I would just do it because it's like the guy that produced it, we used to go to this open mic together and he just used to be like, want to do this again? I'd be like, sure. And it was just this very casual thing. And then he came and was doing it and it was my favorite run of it. It was like the one that I was having super, super fun with it. And my life was like, oh my God, just in the toilet, I would just like zombie my way to rehearsal and then start kind of like
this
having
post
fun.
Keith, of course.
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah,
but
it is
nobody
supposed to be.
knew that at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it was just
Oh.
weird. And then my grandfather died, which I wasn't close to him, but I was like sad for my mother, and we were on the outs, and it was like just a lot of chaos. And this musical that I'm like, what am I really even doing here? I almost didn't do it. And then, and he read for, the character called, Paprika.
Yeah.
And oh my God, this character. Okay.
Suddenly, I feel this. What was that show with paprika and salt and pepper and
Oh, that's Blue's Clues.
yeah? Were you guys doing Blue's
That's
Clues?
funny.
live?
Yes, actually.
That would be awesome.
It took place in a strip club.
And so,
Paprika,
what was it?
salt and
Oh
pepper.
yeah, that's right. And so,
Now coming to the stage, salt and pepper. Sorry, I couldn't.
no joke, that was part of it. Yeah. Yes.
Was, yeah.
Really?
I think you guys would really enjoy this.
Yeah, it really was a great show.
Yeah. But this character, Paprika, they would, every time we did it, somebody different would do that. And the rest of the cast would say around the same, you know? And so I was so sick of everybody doing that character because they would always have some kind of thing that for some reason would grate my nerves. And it would just like, and I would just be like, ugh, this person, nobody can ever be this character. It was like the weirdest thing. And we were doing the table read. It was the first time we ever did a table read because usually it's just a bunch of idiots getting together and can't believe that like we opened house. We didn't have a director for years and years and years. Like it was just like, it felt like summer camp to me.
Yeah.
You know? And so this was the time we're doing a reading. I'm like,
They
reading.
got a director who works at Lincoln Center and
Yes.
has an English accent, and
Yeah.
his name is Paul.
And it was the first day and we did the reading and he knew the play better than all of us who've been doing it for years and years and years. And usually the Paprika character is like, just like, how does it go? And da da da. And it's like, it's a week before we open. I want to kill everybody. And he was just like, here's the thing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I said to the drummer afterwards, we had been working together for years and years. I said, oh my God, we finally found Paprika. This is amazing. So it's going to be a 12-week run. And then one night, like we started hanging out as friends and it was cool. And I was like, I don't know. I think I feel away, but you know, be cool. So he asked me to go to this thing and I'm like, maybe it's a date, but like, no, it could just be, you know, a normal people thing. And now that I think about it, we went to see a burlesque show and the people behind us, they have to still be telling the story of how two grown adults were pushing each other like 12-year-old children, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, I don't know, like shut up, or like I'm not even talking to
How
you.
burlesque?
Like, it's just so stupid.
How burlesque? Like,
Full on
like,
burlesque. Yeah, but like
Really?
theater.
not like the Simpsons burlesque, you know.
What kind of
House of Burlesque? You don't remember that episode?
Oh, yeah, I remember
It was a
that.
classic.
No, yeah.
where they were the burlesque was like, oh, look, an ankle boner.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, she's showing a heel.
It was very
I
funny.
saw the elbow.
Yes.
I
Woo.
No,
thinking
this
of
was
the
real
Christina
burlesque,
Aguilera one.
and it was with Johnny Pork Pie and his partner. I forget.
Oh, I have no idea. I was just nervous. Okay. I just like, there was probably naked people. I was just like, yeah, great. I don't know what I'm doing here. And I hate his face right now because because
He's giving you the eye.
like I never admit this.
Giving you the Johnny Cool eye.
Because I'm always like, whatever, you loved me. And then when
He's giving you the David Hasselhoff over
yeah,
there.
what a douche.
Yeah. David Hasselhoff.
The Hasselhoff.
And so, okay, so that night we ate, we went to the show, then we ate again, then we were gonna eat again because we were just like trying to keep hanging out,
Yeah.
but nobody wanted to, you know, we weren't really sure what we can do.
Right.
And so I said, we can go somewhere else or we can go to your place and watch HBO. Now, HBO
Which
was
is like Netflix and chill.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
We invented Netflix and
Yes,
chill.
like 10 years ago, that's what Netflix
So-
and chill was.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
HBO was
That
Sopranos
means you
or
wanted to
whatever.
watch like Game of Thrones and chill.
Like, well, it was before Game of Thrones even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was like, she's like, or, you know, we could go back to your place and watch HBO. And I was like, yeah, that one, that thing, what you just said.
Except it didn't come out like that in my head. In my head, there was like a long pause and he was like, yeah, we can go back to my place. And I'm like, I just invited myself, and then he paused, and like, then
Women way overthink things.
no
The
shit.
pause was
You think?
the pause was that you think that could have filled in that gap. Like, or we could go back to your place and chill. You think? That's what I should have said.
Well, we went back to his place, and I turn on the TV, and I go to like whatever HBO I think he's, and I'm like, yeah, what channel is HBO on your thing? And he's like, oh, do you mind if I do something super quick on the computer? I'm really sorry, just whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I'll find the thing. He's like, I think it's on this channel, but double check. And I'm flipping the thing, and I'm like,
Were you browsing porn? Were you picking the porn?
No.
Okay.
what were you doing? That I did not find out until I swear to God, years later, I did not know what you're about to know.
I did not have HBO.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
And I just agreed to go back to my house
To watch HBO.
with this chick that I really was into to watch HBO. And if I don't have HBO when she comes over to watch it with me,
my
I'm
God.
just a pervert, right? So, and I'm just like, oh no. So I'm on the computer like,
If you tell me you
Time
pulled
Warner.
up Kevin Smith's Hollywood Babylon with Ralph Garman, I would be fucking
No,
amazed
man,
right
I
now.
didn't. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I wish I did.
That's all right.
But just for this moment,
That would work so
I know
well right
that would
now.
have gone
We'd
with
have
the
a tie-in.
Voyager thing. But no, I fucking put in. Oh, I went to the Time Warner site, and at the time you could order channels there, and they would just kick in right away, pretty much. You know.
Cool.
And all of a sudden, I turn it to a channel, and it pops
so you
up.
got
To
HBO?
you. Yeah, she turns it to a channel. She's like, oh, that's weird. It's not working. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, what's my fucking password? Time Warner. I'm like, getting my password. I'm like, oh, God, I get HBO. I'm getting HBO. I'm like, hey, please don't make me call you. Like,
Did you actually order it?
oh, I fucking ordered
Of course.
it. I ordered it. I ordered it. I
course.
busted out my card.
What year is
I fucking
this?
ordered HBO 2009. And
okay.
it, boom, it kicked in. And I was like, God, thank you.
I'm
God,
surprised
Thank
that-
you, God.
Yeah.
And we watched, was it 10 to 17 minutes of a movie?
No, we watched the whole thing.
Well, it ran in the background.
We watched the whole thing.
Oh, that was the only movie we ever saw the whole thing of, because we were just like paused in, are we doing this?
Yeah, we watched the whole movie.
No, you didn't watch anything
I
because
watched it.
I was like, oh yeah, well then who got married at the end? And he was like,
What was the
you
movie?
know, that
Waitress.
Waitress. It's the
okay.
worst. And now it's on Broadway. Or like off Broadway or something. It's so
It
funny.
is on Broadway.
Isn't it? It's so stupid.
Yeah, the music's kind of lame.
By Kobe Calais.
Yeah.
Listen to
She's
you.
annoying.
Oh,
I'm
I know.
sorry.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I like her. She's a cute little surfer chick, but yeah, you know, she's got like two
Like
songs.
it starts in my nose and it twinkles my toes. Isn't that the song?
Oh yeah, bubbly
Yeah,
toe.
bubbly
Or,
toes.
yeah, starts in my nose and again in my
my
toes. I fucking hate that. It just
too.
repeats over and over
I
again.
know.
That's how it goes.
Goes.
Give me a it's like if I ever kill myself, it'll be to that on
That
repeat.
song, like my twinkly toes.
Oh my
I hate
fucking
that
God,
song.
Colby Calais. What? Why?
I hate that
I have
song.
no idea who you guys are even talking
I have
about.
such
That,
a
that shows you
disdain for
how
that song.
out of it I am on that.
You know what? Okay, her song "Realizes I" and her song "Midnight Bottle" is I.
I don't know that one.
It's,
I just got
It
ruined
sounds
by the
like
other one.
the guy
The
who
other
did
one
pork.
ruined it.
You know, what is it? Pineapple Pen song.
No.
It feels like it's in
No.
that wheelhouse here.
No, that's not even the same. Like, no.
I have no idea.
No.
When we get back to
Not at
sex,
all.
the important stuff. But let me throw this out here because we have listeners, so let's bring the element of gender into this. How does that come up? How does that come into the conversation?
Didn't.
Not at all.
No.
Had you always known
About gender.
about your partner's gender?
The person you were attracted to.
can you be specific?
Me or him?
You.
In my question?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Did you know that Hennessy was transgendered in advance?
No.
Okay. Didn't even suspect.
Well,
And how far in?
I did know. Didn't have the word for it. I did know we weren't identifying each other.
Okay.
I knew that I was attracted to him, and I knew that like when we had sex, it felt like sex.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't know anything beyond that, and we were just having sex and being friends for a while. But we discovered the word together.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you in the process?
I was just living and identifying as female as I was assigned at birth.
Okay. When you guys met?
Yeah.
Okay.
Working as an actor, just doing female roles mostly. I played her alcoholic stripper auntie. The character description was mannish in demeanor. And I always got roles like that. I musical theater wise, I have a voice, a high belt, pretty good soprano, really pretty voice. But, and I clean up nice, as a female. But
I do
there's
too.
always been, I believe it, girl. There's always been a little bit of a hesitancy in people, casting people, unless I'm always a chance that they take. And once they take the chance, they want to work with me again. But a lot of people are hesitant to take the chance. I'll get a lot of callbacks and not a lot of roles because there's some sort of, well, this is my theory and it's what I feel from my experience. There seems to be something subconscious that they're picking up on, and maybe something that's not completely truthful. And it's that I'm basically in drag doing this. I'm not acting like a woman. I'm just doing the role. I'm doing the part. And when I play women, I'm good at it. You don't see, a mannish woman or a man or anything like that. You just see the writer's words, I think, right, Chemda? Am I blowing smoke on my ass?
No, I mean, I'm
just talking about what I do, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Hopefully it comes off that way, okay? So
I'm just trying to contextualize where you guys were at when you met.
And I'm trying to tell you it's complicated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I understand. Believe me, I understand.
So that's where I was at. These people took a chance on me, and we had a great show. There was always something being stuck, sort of. And I knew that, I was always jealous of men. I hated men for a while. When I was younger, in my early 20s, I was very, had a lot of anger toward them, and I was frustrated. And I was frustrated at women because I didn't identify with them. I didn't identify with the lesbian community that I was a part of, almost against my will, it felt, and I couldn't really put my finger on why. Not all trans people have this. A lot of cis straight women have this. There are message boards about it. But I happen to have something called phantom limb syndrome in my junk area. And I've always felt my penis and my balls. And since I was a little kid, I knew it would grow in. And when it didn't, I was devastated and embarrassed. And I still had that feeling my whole life. And it haunted me for a long time. Now I'm grateful for it, because I did find out that I'm trans, I was born a boy who developed in the womb as a girl. And always knew it, always felt it, I used to say, when I'm a big boy, ellipsis, and people thought it was cute, so no one corrected me. And my buddy, Michael, he was like my best friend. He knew that I was a boy. He taught me how to pee, standing up and everything. And, then when I realized I wasn't, I had to start wearing a shirt around the house, and my penis wasn't going to grow in, but I still had this feeling, I just kind of went inside and sort of just trained myself to be a girl as much as I could be, It's like, I don't want to be an ugly girl, you know what I mean? So like, I tried, but you look at pictures of me when I'm younger and I look like a boy trying to be a girl. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. I got better at it, as I got into my 20s and stuff like that. I got better at it. And I'm going to make a great drag queen. But
hell yeah.
That's pretty much where I was at. I had no words for this, I thought transgender, trans anything was something from Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse, which one's the real boy, which one's the real girl. And I didn't identify with that.
Well, just for the record, I identify with a lot of what you were talking about just by being a bisexual male. I don't want to be like we're the real downtrodden, but we have this ability to be able to hide very easily. So we never really confront it. And everything gay is bad. So like half of what you're turned on by, you are told is fucking wrong, So
of course.
You're always sort of, there's a part of you that you're never allowing. I mean, I remember, being the guy saying faggot and all that shit.
Yeah.
And knowing inside that,
those are the ones that say it.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to separate themselves.
Well, you also have to, at least back in the 80s, when I was a kid.
And the 90s.
Yeah, you had to defend yourself, because for whatever reason, gay, particularly male gay, was a total negative.
It's definitely particularly male.
Well, affection.
And in bisexuality, I mean, and it's so weird. That even got weirder because women got the pass. I mean, you guys, bisexuality is hot for girls and fucking verboten for boys. And that's a tough thing to swallow.
It's only hot if the men around find the women who are about to do whatever hot. But it's not hot if you're not attracted to them. So it's but then it becomes the same thing as just being a woman. You'll listen to me as long as you're attracted to me. And then you won't because I'm invisible if you're not. I'm not talking about you, but if we're talking about generalizations about every kind of marginalized group, we all have the same story.
I've read a lot about this. And I know I've seen it in when I, was more part of the lesbian community in New York City, in the early thousands. I saw a lot of hating on the bi people in the club, the bi people, people would be judged for dating bisexual people. I remember, they were known for heartbreak, and really it was just ego damage. And it happened to be a 50-50 roll of the dice, like you said, it's easier to pick the straight side. So more likely than not, it might be the opposite sex. Yeah. If they leave you for someone, it might just be the opposite sex because it's just easier and it's easier to find a partner. It's easier all around, Yeah,
because you don't call it straight bars. You just go into a bar.
Right.
You call it a gay bar.
Right.
So in a straight bar, people have to assess if they're allowed to, quote, be gay about their interactions. Can I hit on this person? No, I'm not in a gay bar, so what the hell are you doing hitting on me here? Where, that's not a thing. That's like saying gay married. So as long as there are gay bars, that's separate but equal.
Right. But also I wanted to say...
sometimes I wonder that gets too crazy, though, because if we don't point out the difference, then people won't accept the difference. You know what I mean?
I understand that, yeah.
That's just a safe space right now. Gay bars are just a safe space.
Exactly.
Why do you need a safe space? Because things are fucked up.
Do.
So we'll know that you won't need a gay bar when you feel safe just being yourself.
Well, that's why I think nowadays when you meet somebody, there should be no reason why it's inappropriate to say, are you gay? Are you straight? What's your deal?
Because right. You'll figure it out as I talk to you. You'll see.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you will, but like when you meet someone.
It doesn't need to be the first thing you know about someone.
Obviously.
I think.
But as you get to know someone.
Sure, but you may never know that. You may meet someone who's asexual and they may never tell you. And you may never...
Do we have to take them to...
They may be an anomaly.
Do we have to get them?
They are the ones
you guys had a comedian
that
who
are
said
gonna,
that, and I thought that was brilliant. That line always stuck with me. I can't remember who it was.
They're going to rule this world.
But
they're not
amazing.
Distracted like we are. You know what I mean?
It is a distraction.
The asexual.
Right.
But, okay, we actually discussed the asexual thing quite a bit on the show because I just think it's sort of asexual. Then you still will be gay, you still will be trans, or you still will be, whatever classification. Then you're asexual on top of that. You know what I mean? Asexual is just, I don't want to fuck.
Yeah, but transgender has nothing to do with fucking. None of it has anything to do with anything except that you have to meet somewhere in order to feel safe.
Correct.
So they drew the circle a little bit bigger so that somebody else can feel safe. That's it. None of it has anything to do with anything. Transgender has nothing to do with gay, straight, or bisexual. But they threw it in there. You know what?
Because
Come be
it's a safe
safe with
space.
us. Because someone is going to align you with that kind of queer, bashing, disgusting, what are you doing with your body? Why are you calling your body this, that, and the next?
Okay, now I've had this discussion with some. Just let me get it right, so I don't.
But I'm the only straight one in the room, so you guys are weird.
Isn't that weird? It's funny you said that because we've been in situations
I'm
where
straight
essentially,
I'm saying, but you're still on the.
I'm bi,
Well, so are you.
she's bi.
yeah.
Just as much as I am.
That's true. That
We've been in
makes
a lot of dating situations where she's bi, I'm bi. We'll be with another couple. The other woman is bi. The guy is straight. But suddenly now,
He's
all of these
bi-curious.
bisexual people have to cater to this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that fucked up? That's why we don't do that anymore, but there was a time.
Well, I
have to
guess
cater
that
to
does make sense, right? Like you have to cater to whatever
The weakest link.
you sign up to.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, like for some people, everyone's okay with the butt except
The
for one
weakest
person,
link.
right?
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Maybe some people like that. Some people like the fresh meat, the challenge, the newbie, sure.
I also don't
straight.
understand why bisexual women continue to give like hetero straight males a threesome experience.
Oh, I hope that
it's-
someday
I
you
don't get that at
recognize
all.
how much of a choice you have in life. I just hope that one
Because-
day you
I'm just an advocate of saying women don't do that anymore.
because if we want to open the relationship up, we have to cater. That's why. Because
Oh my
because
God,
usually
yes.
the cis straight male is the weakest link. And so, okay,
Yes,
you'll give me
absolutely.
this, I'll take that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. And you're evolving into this role. So how do you feel?
That's true.
As we male bash.
I mean, I've been this role is the thing. That's where the frustration has come from, as a straight male, queer, female, lesbian. I am never living up to what is expected of me with anyone.
Oh my God, never.
You're always on somebody's
That's
fucking
like,
shit list.
whoa.
And that's why people
Hard
transition.
thing.
That makes sense.
I get like a heartache from all of this shit.
And we've talked to
I mean, everyone's
really-
got
male
their
to
own-
female
No, but
transition,
it's
and
way too.
some of them
way
feel
too.
that trans as a sex really they feel they identify more with that. They'll never really feel completely transitioned, if you will. Now, I can't. I'm just speaking.
Wait, say that again. Say it again.
I didn't. Yeah, you have to say that again.
Okay, that they will always identify as trans. They won't necessarily. She won't necessarily identify as female completely.
Oh, gender non-binary.
Yes.
Is that
Well, essentially, and that's why her.
gender fluid?
Yes, she always
Oh, yeah,
prefers
that
the
is-
trans label as essentially her sexuality.
Sure, that's why a lot of people like the pronoun they, and some people,
I'm terrible with the pronouns, and I don't mean offense, but I always fuck it up.
of course, it's a learning thing, and you know what? You're in transition too. If you choose to be a part of trans
Yeah.
people's life, you're transitioning too, and you're a part of it.
Now
So-
explain the non-binary thing.
Oh, I don't know. I believe that, I think that trans people have to come face to face with things about their sexuality, about their identity, things that a lot of cis normative, and cis straight people don't really ever sometimes look at or have to look at. And that opens up, queer people in general actually have to go through this a lot, and that opens up, I think, that opens you up to more experiences, more, it makes you more understanding of more wants and needs. That's why you see more BDSM, I think, in the queer community. That's why you see more openness, sexuality more.
Although not anymore, thanks to that book. It's everywhere now, BDSM. It's crazy town.
Oh, because of the...
Oh,
we
50
see
Shades?
we
50
see a
Shades.
lot of it.
Oh, that's
all
great.
over the
That's
place.
great.
Yeah.
I didn't know it did that. That's
Oh yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
It's well out of the gay community now.
Well, yeah, okay, cool. But you know what I mean? And, but the gay community has led sort of the sexual revolution, I think, in America.
Oh, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yes,
In a big way, and has introduced a lot of, sexual revolutionary, ideas into the mainstream. And because they've had to look so hard at themselves and what they want and their beings and their lives and la 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 la, it's fucking exhausting.
Yes.
So,
And that's why one of the underlying themes of this show is advocating for coming out, regardless of what you are, coming out about it. If you're bi, if you're straight, tell people, start letting people know.
But
Particularly,
it's not always
for
so
me,
easy.
it's for bi guys because we can hide so fucking easily.
I mean,
and as long as we hide, we're always going to get this double standard stigma of it's okay for girls, but it's fucking not okay for boys.
well, once a few boys get on the train, they all will.
They're starting
it's like
to.
there's a
They're
pack
starting to.
mentality there with men. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's afraid to be left out of the boys' club. So
This is actually a
tough.
boys' club they seem to want to be left out of. They want to disappear and blend.
Well, yeah. I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They wanna
Different
hide. They wanna-
perspective.
yeah, They don't want to be shit on. Is really the thing.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's a big step.
Yeah. But you know what? Anytime I come out to like a dude, bro, or I tell him my experience of being trans, or being, living as a boy looking like this, especially, when I had longer hair, when I appeared more feminine, I plucked my eyebrows.
You have nice eyebrows.
It's weird because I found it
Very
opened
nice.
you up actually finally to be
welcome.
insulted. Not too long ago, I came out. I was becoming a member of a band. I came out and almost like within a week or two, I got a faggot remark. And I was like, holy shit. And I've only gotten that a few times in my life because usually I was in the fucking closet.
Chemda and I used to get
Because-
comments all the time, and I have been my whole life
cocksucker was
as
the
a
actual
lesbian.
Yeah.
term.
Oh yeah, I've gotten comments my whole life living as a lesbian for sure, and as a female in general. But the thing is with gay men and what we were talking about earlier, affection and love is seen as a feminine trait in this country.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
So for a man to show affection only makes sense if it's with a woman in people's minds.
Because it's like they're forced. Well,
It's like
for the woman.
it's natural. That's the part. That's the ebb and flow,
Right.
And there's something to that, to a masculine and feminine energy that can either be interchanged between two people,
Right.
or one can assume one more than the other, whether that's in a same-sex relationship or in a opposite sex relationship. And I think that's a yin and yang. I think masculinity and femininity do work well together, and that you do find that in relationships. And, I used to hate when people would come up to us and be like, oh, which one's the man, And it's like, well, I am, but for the sake of this argument, I'm going to say we're both women.
And like people.
What's funny is probably we'd go in our relationship. I think I would go her.
Well, yeah, there's a reason why there's a saying, she wears the pants in the family. Well, maybe she has the more masculine energy. You know what I mean? And that's okay. It does not, if anything, it makes you more of a well-rounded man and more of a human.
Absolutely.
I'm the diva. She's the grounded one.
Well,
Yeah, you really are.
I mean,
We discovered that when my son cut his fingers off.
Whoa.
Well, or cut the pieces off at a lawnmower.
In the lawnmower, it was the worst.
Oh,
that was the
shit.
worst day.
Yeah,
of
it
my
was
life.
one of those moments.
shit.
I've never heard and
Do you call him
no-
Edward Motorhands now?
He's
No,
such an
but
awesome kid. I
actually-
love you,
Edward
Cameron.
Motorhands.
He's the
We started
greatest.
calling him the Onion Knight. If you watch, because he
from
has his,
Game of Thrones. Yeah,
he has his tips
He's
removed.
So awesome.
Oh, shit.
And we had who was it on the show not too long before that? Robert Kurtzman.
Robert Kurtzman.
Who does a lot of effects in Hollywood. If you have a favorite movie, chances are he's worked
Dawn
on
of the
it.
Dead.
No, not Dawn of the Dead. He worked on what do you call it? Shoot.
Yeah. See, now we're just
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn.
That like
Dusk
is his
Till Dawn,
brainchild.
That was what it was. Yeah.
Dead Alive. No, Evil Dead. He did
a lot of
did
the
effects work in the back.
effects work, yeah.
He made finger bones for our son.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, because he heard what happened, and he had just been on the show, and we told him about the Onion Knight thing, and he sent us fingered bones in a bag with the Onion Knight seal on it, and it was
Isn't that cool? But that was the word. Like
very
I never
thoughtful.
heard
Yeah,
a
it was
scream
amazing.
like that ever, and I was like, my heart just.
Oh,
we just got to get him back on the show.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what I remember.
oh, that's a hard day. So you kept
That's
her
a
cool.
crazy-
Yeah, like I
don't know.
I watched
It
her
was-
go.
That's
like
me.
just go from
Yeah, but,
like
like, what are you
and
gonna
me
do?
I went, oh fuck, I'm about to lose my mind, I'm gonna go look for the fingers,
Yeah, he's looking for the fingers, and then
so
I'm
I'll
just
stay
like,
out of trouble.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I don't even know how, like, where it came from. It was like this adrenaline.
Which turns out they
that just
couldn't
started
reattach
coming.
anyway, but I did find them.
It was just adrenaline.
It's
that started.
instinct, yeah.
It's instinct. Yeah.
But
Like
you
your
went
baby.
totally calm.
Yeah.
So.
But I wasn't inside. I was like,
Yeah.
kill me. No, I want take my fingers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not my
That's
baby.
I'm sure you fell
that
apart
is one of those
later.
ones where
It's horrible.
if you think back, you can get PTSD.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Stop it.
but
Actually,
that's kinda
I was
selfish
thinking. So
sounding,
when we
isn't it?
filmed you,
No.
you had a growth inside you.
Oh yeah.
So the footage I have of you are tumor riddled.
That was before like anything. Well, I think it was happening, but before
was
you
before
And
I
your
was
tumor was not unlike my brother had sort of the same thing. It's that gland. Right?
Thymoma.
Well,
The thymus.
His thymus.
yeah. And he
Yeah.
had a growth, and he started like it was weird. He got weak on one side, and he had all these weird precursors.
Probably the myasthenia gravis that comes with it.
That's what he
Yeah,
had. Mine.
yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so myasthenia gravis is a neurological disease that's like an autoimmune thing, and you could lose strength and
Yeah. That's what he exactly.
Yeah, and
He's going to have that
And he
forever.
had
he'll
no.
have it
Actually,
forever.
he's okay now, but he had
Sure, the
radiation treatment and all
symptoms-
that.
Well,
Yeah.
he has it, but it's you know,
Yeah, they found a tumor, like something was growing there. It was not nearly as big as yours. They radiated it, and
oh, so he didn't have to have an operation.
no, he did not have to be cut open. He only went with radiation. But yeah,
that's
so when
so
you
rough.
started talking about it, I was like, that sounds a lot like what my brother had.
Funny, it's
But-
like 1 in a million or something like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
A very freaky
Weird.
thing. But yeah, the fact that yours was like alien,
It was weird, it's
especially the pig fat videos or photos that were circulating when you came back.
I think that was the photo of my tumor. We asked the doctor for
No,
it.
because Libby had gone out and got
right.
like 50 pounds of pig fat or whatever it was to show what the tumors.
4 pounds. It was
Yeah,
4 pounds
whatever.
or 3 and a
Hey, 50 doesn't. Hey, the key to a good story is embellishment.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dad.
I was gonna say thanks, Father. That's like his dad. Yeah, it was pushing on my lung. I think I didn't have like use of that lung, and then my heart was in a totally different place. It pushed it away, and it was pushing on my esophagus, which is actually good because that's what got me to the hospital because I was like running out of breath. I was trying to run 2 miles and I just couldn't breathe anymore. And that was about last year. And so when the year mark came up of when I went to the hospital and found out I had a tumor, I ran 2 miles.
I was so worried for you for one reason because you were definitely looking at a lot of the more homeopathic, natural options, and I just know people that have died when shit like this comes up, and that was the only thing I was like, please let her go. With.
Well, I'm
Just as many
With,
people have died with,
I
the
know,
Yeah.
but I
I
had a
didn't-
very, very close friend pass as a result of like,
And I've
he had
had many
pneumonia,
friends pass
you
in
know?
the hospital.
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it just sucks that they died. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
it
you
sucks
go-
when people die.
Yes,
It
yes.
sucks.
And
for
especially if
us.
you feel like, hey, you could have done something about it, you schmuck.
But I did.
Yes, you did.
I had open heart surgery. That is not homeopathic.
Hey, man, that's
That
just
is not.
fucking. You cracked you open.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
We mixed Western and Eastern medicine.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think we did every single thing we could.
which is, I'm all for that,
Well, I had a choice of radiation. Well, I didn't have.
and
Well,
I'm very open to the Western or the Eastern thing.
they recommended 5 weeks, 5 days a week of radiation, but I was right on the border of I need it and don't need it. So they sent me home to decide for myself, which I think is ridiculous. I absolutely think that that's ridiculous. I have less information than you. So for me to make the choice is weird. So I'm thinking if they're allowing me to make the choice, I'm not putting radiation near my heart, lung, breast, and shit like that. When
anywhere.
We also did a lot of research and, you know.
Yeah, I remember
and
you guys going through the process.
pros and cons. We talked to doctors. We, you know, we really did. We examined everything.
He made the mega weed too.
But I'm getting the CAT scans.
RSO oil.
Yeah,
Google it.
That stuff's insane.
It saves lives. Saves lives.
Yes.
Thank God.
It takes a lot of weed to make that little bit of oil.
It does. It's thousands of dollars.
Major.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Very expensive.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, but I didn't understand. They didn't give me a good enough reason to radiate.
And the thing is,
and they said go home and think about
the
it.
radiation
Like,
can cause tumors later around that area. That
that are cancerous.
That are cancerous, that if she's going to get tumors anyway, and that's why they're doing the radiation, then let her just get the tumors first.
Yeah. That's what I decided.
But the size of the tumor in your case changed
it was a
everything.
football.
Yeah. And the fact that it was connected
Yes,
to,
but it's not ever going to get that big again.
Yeah,
she has no tumor anymore.
Yeah, it's gone.
And she's going to be getting checked throughout the rest of her life.
So every 6 months I get a check. So to me, it's like, how big could the tumor grow? If I get another one, I already know I could beat it. I already know, like when I was 40 when I found out and they were talking about chemo, they were talking about radiation, they were talking about cancer, and everyone was talking about death around me and telling me who they lost and shit like that before I even knew what it was. So I had to start thinking about death because it just came up. And I thought, okay, if I die now, I'm so pleased and I'm so happy. And I was like, wow, I really believe that. That's fucking cool. I did an inventory of the shit that I, quote, got done, meaning like experiences that I got to. I mean, I don't know many people who get to have the stories that I have. I think everybody has stories. I can interview anybody and find the most fun, wonderful story. So I was like, all right, it's cool. So if I get more time and I'm not going to spend it with radiation that may or may not cause something, that's not good enough. I'd rather spend time, get a tumor, and deal with it again. Now, when I cry after, you know, I get some weird diagnosis, I think that's fair too. But I think I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
It was just amazing that you guys went through it all. So you went through it so publicly.
I love that. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, because you have a place to shout about it, but not everyone necessarily would do that.
There's no question to not ask me. What could you possibly ask me that would make me feel ashamed, embarrassed, or have nothing to say about it? What could I not tell you about a tumor? Like, I didn't even know what there was to be not talking about.
Yeah.
I don't, like, it didn't even occur to me.
What is there to be like ashamed of, or like what is there to be anything
I'm
wrong
going
with?
to be in the hospital.
Any
See you later.
any boundary you set for yourself in podcasting, I've found you will eventually break. This show is a classic example.
Right.
Because it wouldn't be here if we didn't break that.
There's no point. Every time we don't talk about it, it's another thing that somebody else has to get over.
Yeah.
Every time we don't talk about fights between people who love each other, then as soon as you have your first fight, you have a breakdown. That is ridiculous. Every time we don't tell kids what actual sex is and the fact that they might enjoy it, might feel like a drug and what that does to you, and that's okay, and it will happen to you no matter who every time we do that, we have to that person has to undo that lie and undo that stupid story. And who gives a shit? How exhausted are you in your day when you keep everything to yourself? I have a tumor. Like, what? You know,
it changes things.
God, anybody gives a shit that I have a tumor. I thought I was going to say I have a tumor and people are like, oh, damn, how many episodes are we going to miss? And I would totally understand it, you know, like I can't go to work for a while. But they were like, we're with you and shit like that. And I was like, oh my God, you give a shit that I have a tumor because your friend had a tumor, because you care about me and you don't want me to die? I was shocked. And you know what? That's what you get when you tell people about your tumor, about your bisexuality. You get to be loved for who you are, and you get you get praise for anything you do. Just tell the truth and you'll get praise for it, because there's a community and there's a person who loves exactly that. And I found someone who loves tumors. So
more
there
than
you
that,
go.
you'll get.
And there's also
Tumor lover.
There's also a scared, lonely person out there who isn't able to share about it. That might share about
You'll
it.
get identification. And you'll have other people that have the same experience you do.
Right.
That you can share.
At least you hope.
There's always someone who's had the same experience you have.
Just
Google it. You'll find a message board filled with them.
There you go.
Cis straight women have phantom penises and balls, and they struggle with it, and they have lobotomies to get rid of it.
They have lobotomies to get rid of it?
I was going to make a joke. I was going to say, I have phantom penis syndrome too all my whole life.
Yeah.
That sounded very much like the guy you called me out for in the beginning. It sounded like Jerry right there. I've got phantom balls, penis.
I said his voice sounds like Jerry from Rick and Morty. Pluto is a planet.
Yes, that's right. He did have a big campaign.
A campaign.
I love that show. I'm obsessed.
I love that show too.
I'm obsessed with it.
Best.
Are you a Kevin fan? Are you a Kevin Smith fan?
Yeah, I am. I
Okay.
do.
All right, good.
Is there anything that we want to know that we didn't find out?
There's plenty, but there's another time.
I'm like really nosy. I want to know stuff.
Well, then ask
the
or wrap
first
it up.
night, Chemda and I slept with each other. No, not the first night. It was like the 16th night we slept with each other. She told me that she felt my penis, and I said, you don't have to say that. And I started I had tears in my eyes. And she was like, oh my God, I don't know why I feel like I have to say everything that's on my mind. I'm really sorry. I don't know why I would say that to you. You're really, I think you're hot. I mean, obviously, but I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. And I was like, no, no, you see me. Like, you see me, you feel me, you see me, you know? And I say in my show, I have a show called How to Be Standing Up. Mm-hmm. And, I say, I don't know how many people have phantom limb syndrome, but I know there's got to be even less people that feel other people's phantom limbs, you know?
Well, it's because it was before we talked about gender and sex.
This was before
So you
Caitlyn
picked up on
Jenner,
that beforehand.
Years before Caitlyn Jenner.
It's before we knew the word transgender.
It was after Chaz, but no one took Chaz seriously because he was born with a vagina.
Yeah, what happened was he went to a mutual friend of ours and told her that story, and she was like, yeah, you're trans. And then we were like,
and I was like, Transformer? And she was like,
more than meets the eye.
That's so cool.
And she was like, kind of, read this book. You're a dude. You didn't know that? I was like, and she gave me this book, and it was called if you want to, read kind of from a trans male perspective, which isn't, kind of shown as much around
No, it's
the
not.
moment. A really great book that helped me identify myself.
he would highlight literally every word and just go, whenever you get a chance, I just highlighted, a couple things.
a couple highlights.
Yeah.
And it's called Becoming a Visible Man, and it's by Jameson Green. And I feel like he's my uncle because of that book,
Yeah.
So you guys kind of lucked out because you went through this process together, which is got to have made it a lot fucking easier than if you were out there swinging by yourself.
I don't think that I would call any of it easy.
No.
It's pretty fucked up. And it's not even fucked up like we obviously don't care. There's nothing about it, but as soon as you step out, you have to do a lot of things in order to stay sane
and safe.
And so yes, we're absolutely lucky to have found each other and to love each other, quote, no matter what. But that no matter what is different. People are looking at us like, oh, no matter, you don't mind that. No, idiot. I mind a lot of things, just like you mind a lot of things about your partner. But clearly, I don't mind what you mind.
But exactly.
So I'm into whatever you think you're looking at is not what I'm. Come on,
I'm
tiny little
back.
perspective change.
I just remember I'm flashing back to one of your shows where I remember you were scolding a guest. I don't know if he realized he was being scolded, but you were like, girls can have penises. Boys can have penises. We live in this world now. And the guy, I guess, was just taken totally off guard. I can't remember who the hell it was. And it doesn't really matter. But I was like, you go, girl.
Here's the thing. There is this spectrum, okay? There is cisgender. All these terms come from botany.
And I want to say that at first, when I first heard this, I was confused. But then I quickly realized, as a D&D fan, this is alignment. This is the same thing as, do you remember lawful good, lawful evil? The cis scale works the same way. It's the neutral you needed to make it all work.
D&D meaning what?
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah,
Okay.
so you have characters, you have alignment. You can plug that same scale. You can plug cis into the alignment.
It all goes back to D&D.
Isn't that
It all
nuts?
goes back to
Isn't that
Dungeons and
nuts?
Dragons, people.
So, but thanks to that, it made me realize, oh shit, this does work. This does make sense. I just don't like. I've never liked that word, cis.
Of course, it sucks to
it's
be
such a weird cis
labeled,
word.
right?
No, it's just a weird sounding. It's so.
Yeah, so is trans. Trans? Really?
It's horrible.
Trans?
Yeah, I
Trans.
guess,
I am trans. I am trans.
They're actually
I
all
am
just
trans.
normal
But think-
words, but
But
you
they
don't
are
like it
normal
because that's
words.
what
Word by
you're
another.
Because
being
we don't want to
called.
be labeled.
Yeah.
I'm not in the cis label anymore.
You
that's
are.
all cis.
You're a cis male.
Right.
Oh yeah, I guess I am a cis male, but
Yes.
I'm bisexual.
Listen,
cis
can
male.
I just like
So
can
where does
I
that
break
put me?
this down though?
Yes, I would.
On a
I would-
Because I have a
cellular-
much different perspective than many of the hetero cis males that I know. Trust me, I do.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just
It's
trying
okay.
to keep my thoughts together. Okay. All right. So there's all these terms come from botany. All right, and it's so that scientists could tell the reproductive.
Is that where cis comes from?
Yes,
I did
all
not
of
know
these
that.
terms. So the scientists could tell the reproductive plants apart, okay, and which ones would pollinate with others. And some of them, changed. And so they would need terms for what they would change into. So there's cis that comes from probably some Greek word, but it basically in doctor's manuals and science and botany, okay, it means same. So cisgender essentially just means your given gender
Yep, you're male or
matches, your assigned sex that society has put as the role to that gender. Okay. So that's all that it means. It just means same. You're a cis male, you're a cis female, your peepees match your gender.
Right.
In this, by this society's definition. Okay.
Chaotic.
Then
good
you
paladin.
have the next step, which is intersexed, which is basically, and plants are intersexed also, but basically you are born with one part of your reproductive organ, at least one aspect of your reproductive organs does not meet the norm. Okay, so you could be missing one ovary or one ball. You could be born with both a penis and a vagina. You could be born with a little mound and, no balls but ovaries, and a thing that resembles a penis or any variation thereof. Lots of things happen in the womb, right? When we're born. Okay, so in fact, this is a statistic from the Intersex Society organization. I'm not sure exactly where it's from. I can find it for you guys.
Right.
But there are more recorded cases of intersex individuals than there are Jews. Now, my co-host, Judy Gold, or the host of the show that I co-host, Judy Gold, would say, that's because they killed us all, which is probably true. But there's a lot of intersex people out there, okay? And some of them are assigned wrong at birth also. Sometimes their parents pick one or the other, and the doctors fix it or correct it. Sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong, and they learn later on, and it's devastating. Chemda had a show, a What's My Name show, with someone that learned later on that knew he was male, but was assigned female at birth, even though, he was intersex.
Yeah, that was very, I believe that was almost what they did medically.
Yeah.
Instantly female.
There were lots of
Vaginas
stories
are
of
easier
that.
to make.
Exactly.
But aren't they born with both? Isn't that what you're trying to say?
Or some variation
Or
of
none.
Okay.
Yeah.
any
none.
part of the reproductive organ does not match the norm. That is intersex.
Right.
So transgender is a form that I think of intersex. Not all intersex
that would
people
make
are
sense. That makes sense.
transgender.
True.
That makes
But
sense.
I think all transgender people are a form of intersex. So you also have trans plants, okay? Plants that are female and then they transition actually to male, okay? You also have this in fish, clownfish, different animals, okay? Even humans. There is a tribe of human, I think in Africa, where there are female-born people where their penis grows in, some of them at a certain age. And their sex actually transitions on its own.
Oh my God.
Yeah, jealous.
So
I was going to say, can't we study these people?
Yeah, around 10 years old.
way?
They are studying them. That's why I got
That's
started.
amazing.
Yeah.
This could be our answer.
So anyway,
Wow.
so transgender, you know what gender you are. You don't need your pee-pee to tell you, if you were born with the opposite pee-pee tomorrow, you wouldn't feel that gender. You wouldn't feel that whatever chemical connection, whatever animal is still left in us, that sliver that makes men and women different, you wouldn't feel it, okay? I wish gender didn't exist. I wish it didn't, but it does still, okay? Maybe we'll evolve past it someday. But it does still. I always knew I was male. And once I learned the word transgender and learned that there were other boys like me and other girls that looked like you, so many
Fine
things
specimen
fucking
that I
fell
am.
into place and so many things made sense to me and my life made sense to me. And that word allowed me to exist.
And you lived,
And it's fun.
you lived with a phantom penis, like all your life.
All my life. To this day,
Yeah.
And
which is why now I think to myself,
to be able to like say what it is makes all the difference.
sure. And I wear a packer now, which is, it's a prosthetic. It's like made out of medical materials.
Yeah.
That's, resembles a flaccid penis, basically. And I just wear it. No one knows I'm wearing it. You can't see it. It's not, thing that like sticks out or anything. I'm not trying to show anything,
No, you're doing it because it makes you
But
feel.
it connects the physical with the
Absolutely.
physical, what I already feel with the physical world. And it makes it less of a mind trip to me, when I pull up my pants and so on. But yeah, it is a trip. The phantom limb thing, it's different. It's for sure. I know
our
not all
son
trans
has that,
people
by the
have.
way.
Word.
Our son does actually have family.
Yeah, in his fingertips.
Yes,
Oh,
he does
have
indeed.
the phantom
Yeah,
finger.
yeah.
So when you started talking about it, I'm like,
That's that
Because
that's
the
like-
mapping is still there in the brain.
exactly.
Does-
exactly.
So whatever happened in the second half of pregnancy, which is when your gender is formed and your personality and your endocrine system, it's in the second half of pregnancy after your body's formed, after your sex is formed. Whatever happened there, the mapping for my balls and
code.
penis was there, But my balls didn't drop. They stayed up as ovaries,
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
penis didn't extend. It remained the way it is.
So funny. As soon as you start talking computers, I'm like, yes, of course. I processed exactly what you just said. Now
That's
it all
how
makes-
I need to talk about it.
I kind of get
To
that,
understand
though.
it. Yeah. Because it didn't make sense to me. I thought it was weird. I didn't want to identify as trans. I'm not queer. Like, I didn't feel queer. I hated identifying as a lesbian. I hated, it's like double whammy, girl, which I think that women are more evolved than men, and that's a different show maybe, but you can argue with me on
I agree wholeheartedly.
but
of the species.
I wish I was a woman. I really do. I wish I was. It would save me a lot of grief, but happened to not be. And
Not supposed to be.
Right. And Chemda always felt that, and she always knew that, and that's why we're married,
Amen.
Y'all are adorable.
Thanks. So I just wanted to say that. Thanks. Just that one little thing.
We've loved having you on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having
You're
us on.
giving us
It's
such a
been
good
an honor.
perspective. Like, I love the fact that, this is a whole other different kind of story we could share with everybody out there.
Thanks
That's
for having us
dope.
on. That's really nice.
Yeah, I love
And thank
questions.
you for all the education. of all the
Yeah,
different
definitely. I think this might be what you just laid out
Botany.
there.
Oh,
Fucking
good.
is going to help.
We're all learning, I think if we
Absolutely.
break shit down on a cellular level, so we can all just understand on a human level, that's what helped me understand it. I didn't accept myself at first. I didn't accept it.
Oh my God. No.
You know, there's
Absolutely
no
not.
fucking way that could actually exist. Then I started doing research because I'm a nerd. And then I was like, oh, I do exist.
It's
okay,
so
great.
funny.
I'm not insane, you know.
There was another podcast, and I can't fucking think of which one it was, but it's one of the NPR podcasts.
Invisibilia?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the Invisibilia episode
It's great.
about it was a trans sort of thing. It was a story, and it wasn't until essentially kind of like what you said, until I could handle that label, until I found this identity that I could pin myself on.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt quite right. You know?
Right.
I never knew where to stand.
And that's like the raft, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then once you have that, that takes you to the other shore, and then you can let it go.
And that was the thing. Like I remember in the process of the story, the person was so confused at one point because they didn't want that raft. They didn't believe they were in the trans raft. They believed something else.
Can I ask you something?
It's hard to identify as trans sometimes. I don't want to. I don't want to identify as queer. I don't want to identify as trans.
I'm diabetic. I don't want to be fucking diabetic.
Right.
Trust me.
I happen to have this thing that, you know, and, you know, in ancient tribes, we used to be seen as medicine men and shit and shaman, but now it's different. So we transitioned.
Right.
What were you going to ask? I'm sorry.
Well, now I know this is supposed to be like you and Chemda, but now I'm like
Chemda.
zoned in. And Chemda.
Chemda.
I say it wrong every time.
That's perfect.
Chemda.
I thought I've always said it.
Perfect.
Chemda.
Maybe I haven't.
Yeah, you got it.
So you have each other now, and like she is definitely like a soulmate of.
I don't.
On the
like
next
that
show, we
word
got to
for
get into your
lovers. I
family
use that word for
dynamic
friends.
because I know that must be like
or
crazy.
just like a I don't know a
she's my
connection that's
partner.
a partner.
Yeah,
Did you like?
partner.
Did you have that?
I was
growing,
hated saying that.
Like when you were feeling this way growing up, did you have somebody?
No,
You never had somebody that
I had my parents, I had my friends, you know, but
Right.
no one knew
no one knew.
that I liked girls. I mean, I thought I was gay for a long time, and that was bad enough, but I was also the only white kid in my school, and so I was distracted by a lot of things. You know, I couldn't think about being trans. Like,
right.
I just was surviving day to day, sort
Right.
of just kind of living day to day, sort of accepting everything as it came and digesting it. You know, I wore 2 sports bras though.
Yeah.
And whenever the wind would blow against me, I would pull my shirt up off my chest instinctively. Like,
Yeah.
I shared a closet with my very large dad to cover everything up, you know, shit like that. Like,
Right.
so I was always sort of transitioning,
Right.
even before I knew it. But, yeah, as far
But it
as
wasn't
love
like
was concerned
Yeah.
or like intimacy, no. I got some of that through, you know, through theater, maybe, you know, through connecting sort of with other kind of dimensional, you know,
Funny playing someone else.
through
being other
connecting
people.
through other people's stories. I got to connect with that side of humanity, but not myself. Not really. I funneled my, you know, crush or want for any sort of female onto a friend of mine that I felt safe with, that if she were to find out, she would not have given a fuck. She would have been flattered as hell. And she did know. She knew the whole time. And of
Yeah.
course she was flattered as hell. And she loves to bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, just because she's like one of those girls. But
This is why damaged people do so well in the arts. Because we're so well at acting and pretending and, you know, looking the other way.
oh, see, for me, I think it's almost the opposite. It's like we've had to look at so much and be so fucking honest with ourselves, you know, in ways
lucky.
that we're forced to be at times that we don't want to be. Yeah, if you're lucky, and if you're not, you kill yourself, you know. But and a lot of us do.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
you know, it's like, you know, when you're not allowed to do basic human things, you have to find it through other ways. And so artists that are born artists, storytellers, you know, find it through their art. You know, there are also people searching for connection and attention that also go through arts to find that. And that's a different kind of person who's in the arts and that's great. The arts can be very therapeutic and can give attention to people that have never gotten it before. And I feel that anyone who is lonely should get involved in the arts in some way, in theater and things. It's great.
I think that's part of why family is actually being redefined now. People aren't.
Let me tell you something.
Depending on biology.
Buddha, Jesus, they all said, fuck your family. Your family has nothing to do with blood, okay?
True.
You guys are my mothers and my brothers and my sisters. Quote, unquote, Jesus. If you want to throw Jesus in my face, I'll throw him right back at you. I'm a preacher's kid.
There you go.
I know the fucking Bible.
I know the Bible because I'm an atheist.
Let's go. I'm an atheist too, but I have that background.
Right.
So I'm also empathetic to that side. I know where they're coming from. I get it. I was in it. I understand it. And I still have that connection with what I once called God. But now I call it something else.
Science.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Science.
Absolutely.
And
we should wrap
it's
this
all
up.
about getting, again,
'Cause we can
just
go off on
getting
another
down
tirade now.
to a cellular level.
About why I left
Absolutely.
AA.
You know, you just keep asking why. Just keep
No,
asking
AA
why.
is a totally different
Never
topic.
stop.
I know.
Asking
But well, we're starting to get there with God
Never stop
versus
asking
atheism
why.
versus. Yeah.
I'm an atheist,
Me too. I'm just a very tolerant atheist.
and I thank Christianity for helping me get there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's good to know the Bible because then you can talk their language.
Sure. It's good to know as much as you can about everything and anything, you know, and whatever. It's like, yeah, but
I mean, I grew up
absolutely,
Catholic.
when it
I
comes
can never
to
be a
those
Catholic
arguments, it is helpful.
Yeah, I suppose.
So let's get everybody's social
Anyway,
media.
my cock
Yes.
is 18 inches long and black,
Yes.
and I have huge balls.
It's black. Awesome.
It's a Rachel Dolezal cock.
There you go.
Joking.
Cam just got a big smile on her
joking.
face.
She's actually, that's her rolling her eyes smile. She's like, I know exactly.
But she wasn't even
And
rolling
you're
her
wrong.
eyes.
Oh no, I was. He saw it. He knows what I mean.
All right, so my social media
Yeah. So
stuff
where
is-
can everybody find you guys?
at Hennessy Howley, Hennessy, spelled like the cognac, and Howley, Haole,
And where
spelled
can
like
they-
Howley.
Where can they hear your dulcet tones describe crazy shit like this?
Go to judygold.com/killmenow and check out my show. I also have a show on the Keith and the Girl Network called Bottoms Up with Hennessy. Just revamped the show. I talk about my neuroses and my mental process going through transition and my battling with the decision to or not to, and so on and so on.
And all the decisions, I'm sure, that go within that decision.
And there's video of it, and maybe I show my titties.
Is there video, really?
Yeah, on the VIP network, keithandthegirl.com. You can get a discount if you use code Henny, Henny. You can get a discount off of you'll get the Keith and the Girl, all the Keith and the Girl back shows and Keith and the Girl VIP content for a discounted price, and all my episodes of Bottoms Up with Hennessy. It's worth trying it at least for a month. Get that money.
And your Hennessy Land on Facebook.
I'm Hennessy Land. Yeah, they won't let me not have a last name.
That's cute. That's really
Chemda
cute.
calls
That's
me
why you call her
Land.
Land. I love that.
Yeah,
You're not the first person to
she's
run into
been
that
calling me
problem.
Land.
Land.
For a
That's
while.
really cute.
Lionel used to
That's
bitch
not
about
why. That's why I put it. But
Oh, okay.
that's
So
a
the
whole
other
other
way.
story.
Sorry. I was
Where can we find
pretending.
you?
I was pretending I knew what it meant.
That's cool. I mean, whatever. It could have either meant one way or the other.
It could have. So Chemda.
Perfect. Third time's a charm.
I say it my own way.
That's perfect. Chemda.
Chemda.
You got it perfect.
My podcast is Keith and the Girl.
Jubal.
And it's found on all podcast platforms or keithandthegirl.com. And we're on social media at Keith and the Girl. And my personal one is at Chemda. Good luck spelling it.
See, that I know how to do.
Chemda.
That I can do. It's Chemda.
Chemda.
Is it really that big a thing?
It's totally Chemda.
Yeah, of course.
Totally Chemda.
Yeah, how do you spell?
I don't know because I guess
I would spell it like a quivery H, like a shaky H. That's how I would spell
That's
it.
funny.
other than
I
10
wish.
years in
You know?
Virginia.
I thought most people just say Hemda.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
They
what
do.
I,
It's
that's what I
wrong.
usually say.
Yeah,
really?
it's wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Is your name? You know what I
It's
mean?
Chemda.
No, but some people have names with silent letters in them. I have
No.
2 T's at the end. No one says Scottata.
But what if they did every time they met you?
Skatata.
And then you would correct them and they go Scottata and you just go, yeah. Because you don't
Chemda?
because
Yeah.
you just want it to end.
Chemda? Yeah.
Yes, all of it.
I've sort of corrected
Or what if
people
everyone called
just
you
to say.
she every single time, even though you weren't?
So, why don't you say that name, Gene? Because I can't say it.
Which one?
Chemda.
Oh,
Perfect. You just did it.
No, I didn't.
All you got to do is believe in yourself.
Chemda. You have to have like Chemda.
Yeah, there you go. See,
Chemda.
it's our palates just.
You
need
know
to
what's
develop.
funny? This was
Fine.
5 minutes about my name where Scott said, "Is it really that big a deal?"
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Now he doesn't want to say it.
It's a huge deal. Chemda.
I feel bad because now I know I've been saying it
just-
wrong.
Hey
for
Scott,
like a
will you
fucking
do
year.
one thing just for me?
Sure.
Will you just say Pluto is a planet? Like really? Yeah.
Pluto is a planet.
oh my god, that's
I even
funny.
went for.
You
I
did
am
great.
going to put that as my ringtone. Thank you,
That's
thank you,
funny.
thank
Hey,
you. That was
you
awesome.
know,
You can
all I
totally
know-
take over for him if he
Oh my
happens
God,
to
sweetie.
him and Howard Stern, I guess.
die.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Well, I
almost put
guess
the weed
we
across the
are.
This was great. Thanks for
Thanks.
reminding us that we love each other.
Yes. And thanks for
You
being.
guys
on.
are great.
And
You're very
we
inspiring
can-
and adorable.
I would love to have you on the show just to be on the show. By the way, if you're a Kevin fan.
I would love to just be on the show.
Will
Cool.
you? Awesome. And Chemda too. Chemda too. Again.
Perfect.
No, she's not a fan. Fuck her.
Of course.
Groovy. We're out.
See, she loves me even though I say her name wrong every time.
That's true.
Fix it in post.
End it with that.
Pretty cool stuff. Awesome interview. Amazing couple.
Yes, indeed.
Lots of stories I didn't know, and lots of feels.
Lots of
And,
feels.
Just like thing.
Yeah, it was a heavy episode.
Yeah, it was
One of the heavier ones.
touching,
and
heavy.
one of the more educational from our perspective.
Right,
episodes.
and
You learn a lot from.
Yeah, and funny. Because humor, like intertwined and just a part of our lives, makes all of this like so much better. And
Yeah, apparently I found out how much more like what's his name I am from Rick and Morty.
oh my God, Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah, I'm Jerry Smith apparently on
Jerry-
some universe.
I love Jerry. You can't not love Jerry. He's just like adorable, and totally get it. The voice.
He's
so-
pathetic and a loser, and he's
Yeah,
pretty
but
much the
it's
foil of the
not-
show.
It was more your voice.
And
you
now
know?
he's gone.
right, and that was never
divorced.
said. It was more your voice.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
It was more your voice. And I think Hennessy.
Pluto is a planet.
Hennessy said that he was going to use that as his ringtone.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So now that might be the new thing.
Well, now we found out that you have unturned tables. Yeah, I'll be marketing myself as Jerry's replacement.
Yeah,
Should that actor pass?
my God, that would be brilliant. I would watch that show like over and over and over and over and over again, like I do now.
And if you're Rick and Morty fans, I would advise you to go over to our other podcast called That Man on Fat Man. A
Yes.
couple of episodes back, we did have the great Phil
Hendry.
Henry. I love what you just said the name.
Yeah, Phil Hendry.
Because you say it better.
Yes, check him out on Facebook.
But
and
I
on
will say
Twitter.
the name Principal Vagina.
Yeah,
That's
no
right.
problem saying vagina.
There you go.
And it's Gene Vagina, actually. So,
Yes, that's true.
yeah, Gene.
Yes, that would be different Gene Vagina. Gene Vagina here.
It's great. Love it.
Oh, I may as well just do it the old-fashioned way.
Principal Vagina here. Don't let the name fool you. I'm very much in charge.
I'm very much in charge.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this excellent episode. We want to thank Chemda and Hennessy for being on the show.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys were great, and we love you. And
Their studio is great. Very
can't wait to
comfortable.
have you back. It'll be
Yes.
even more insane. I have a feeling. I don't know
Right.
where we go from there, but
I know. It was a great show.
yes.
And thank you for your time.
And we hope you enjoy this new closing theme to go with the
Enjoy,
new
guys.
opening theme that you enjoyed on this episode. All right, take it easy.
Bye, guys. Till next time.